How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. I also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about SNDL Sundial growers. I have a strategy for all of my short-term traders out there. If you're not doing it already, this will help you with your overall position. This will also help some of you who may be holding shares, and if you want to be able to actually make some money while it's going through the fluctuations that it's going through, then this is the video for you. But before we get started, of course, we got to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside of the description. So if you're a shareholder or you're considering to take a position, I would suggest that you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is a technical analysis. In the technical analysis, we're going to be looking at those areas of support and as well as resistance. We're also going to be looking at those crucial areas that we look forward to in regards to a breakout. And then I'm also going to be showing you, if you want to get some short-term gains off of SNDL stock, I will show you, hey, here are the areas where you can buy so you can take advantage of those run-ups when they do occur. We know that SNDL does trade within the tight range, and this is why I want to bring this to your attention. So even if you are deciding to hold some shares, you can make some money at the same time, but hey, we'll go into that. And then we're going to be taking a look at the short interest information. So the short interest is very key because this will give us an indication in market sentiment. Is it positive or is it negative? Is there a lot of short sellers that are still in this stock? This is key because it does contribute to the volatility, and it will also have an impact getting to those price levels that could be very interesting for us to trade off of. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's jump into it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for SNDL Sundial growers. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $1. So it maintained its gains here. So what did it range on the day? At $1 is where it tested the level of support, and also on the high testing $1.06. When we see how it's lining up with our indicators, you can see from the RSI down below, it's right at 51.92. So taking this into consideration, it is not heavily into the overbought or oversold territory whatsoever. It's right in the middle. We're showing strength above the 200-day. We're also showing some strength above the 21-day EMA, but we are below the 100-day. So taking everything into consideration, SNDL at $1 is great. We know this is a psychological level, and there is support that has been proven to be here. But part of the reasons why I am doing this video for you guys and keep you in the loop continuously, if it does decide to pull back, we know there's going to be opportunities. We know as far as for an area is support, all is concerned is right here around this 90-cent level. If it pulls back to 90 cents, I'm going to give you guys a little quick tip here. If it pulls back to 90 and after you sell after it hits $1, that is 10% profit. Depending on how much money you want to put in, this could be a substantial amount. If it decides to pull back even further and you want to get into the level where you see right here around this 70-cent range, around 75, 76, 77, again, you could add to your position, and when it goes to $1, then you could sell, and then that's well over 20% on your return. So taking everything into consideration, you could do this back and forth continuously. Many people do this, but I myself, like I said, I just like to load up on SNDL when it gets into the 70 area, hold some shares, and I just wait for that strong pop that should be coming before the end of the year. Clear areas of resistance that we need to pass and make sure we have that strong run is right here at $1.50, and as well right over here around $1.75. If we could pass these particular areas, then SNDL can definitely get into the $2 range. So I don't mind loading up here in the 70 range, 75, whatever the case may be. Take some profits along the way and then look forward to that run up that goes to the top. And this is how I stay profitable in this position. So we're on Fintel. We're going to take a look at the short interest information for SNDL Sundial growers. When we see the short volume ratio, it is at 26%. So of course we know this is fairly high. It is above the 21% that we normally look for stocks that have short squeeze potential. Now, when we take a look at what this is in perspective, out of 232.6 million shares that were traded, stated, 60.3 million of these shares were actually sold short, and this is taken to close as of June the 23rd. As we scroll down on the page, short shares availability is at 10 million, updated just now, and the short borrow free rate is at 1.79%, which is also updated just now. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, it is at 25.95, which we saw today being 26, so it has been creeping up. And the last time that it was being around this area, especially around 26, was back on the 17th when it was at 26.35. So taking all of this into consideration, just know there's a lot of negative market sentiment. They do not want to see SNDL being above $1, and it's part of the reason why there's a lot of shorts who are vested in this play. So for my final thoughts for SNDL Sundial growers, I feel it's very key to know what your strategy is before getting into this stock. I myself, I load up and I accumulate when SNDL is in the 70-cent range. So this could be going from like 75, even going down to 79. And taking this into consideration, I accumulate in these areas, and when it does have its run-ups going above $1 and so forth, then I'll go ahead and take some profits. You got to take advantage of the percentage gain here. What does this look like? So let's say, for example, SNDL does decide to pull back even further and it gets, let's say, in the 90-cent range. You can load up in that area, and because it is a speculative play and it will touch $1 like it does continuously, that is 10% right there. So you make 10% on the money on what you decide to actually invest. If it goes down to 80 cents, then you have the opportunity when it hits $1 to make 20%. And if it goes down to even 70 cents, then you have the opportunity to make close to 30% or even 30%. So just taking all of this into consideration, the amounts that you decide to actually invest to use this strategy is going to be up to you, but it's also a great way to make some money of this stock while it is fluctuating. I know many of you might have a high cost average. This is part of the reasons why I have multiple brokers. I have some stocks that I hold, and I'm like, you know what? I want to accumulate some shares, make some money on the fluctuations, so I'm not just seeing, well, you know what? I got to wait the entire time for this stock to actually pick up. So I wanted to share this strategy with you guys, because if you want to make money off the fluctuations of SNDL, it is very easy to do this. You can also do this with options as well. When it gets into that 70-cent range or even in that 80-cent range, then you can pick up some options that are far out, and then when it runs up, you can make money off of the premiums. But do keep in mind, when you do these short-term trade strategies, they do come with tax ramifications. You're going to end up paying more tax in the long run than if you were just going to buy and hold for whatever time that you decide to, whether it might be 6 months, 1 year, and so forth. So I want to make sure I am clear about that. But at the same time, if you're doing it enough, then the taxes should not be an issue, because you'll be making a good amount of profits overall in general. And then for my long-term holders, like I said, if you believe in this stock, like I said, I believe in this stock myself, and it's part of the reasons why I do keep shares on the side and I buy when it is super cheap. So if you do believe in the prospects, then you're going to be holding this thing for quite some time. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you just need to figure out what strategy you want to have and how you want to maximize your overall profits. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.